Yeah, I mean, anytime you throw a pick like that, and we were up 7, or what were we up? We were up 5. And just didn't make the best throw. You know, I think I was throwing to the right guy, just didn't put enough air on it. And guy made a nice play. I threw it right to him, but he caught it. And, you know, we fought back from that and then went down and scored. And, you know, it was just an exciting day. Sorry, yeah, the field goal. Well, you know, the clock was going, and we were trying to get the play off, and I think we had the perfect play call for that coverage. I think we really anticipated what they were going to do, and Dion ran a great route. I just laid it up there for him, made a great catch, and then gave us just enough time for, you know, to call a timeout and then Adam to run on the field. Sorry. How about you first, Enoch? Yeah, I mean, that's of course. I mean, a shorter field like that, and, you know, I'm sure he'd like to have that one back, but, you know, it's a pressurized situation. He's really trying to get all he can. It looked like he just hooked it a little bit, and we had great field position to start. They put some heat on us. You know, we made a big third down play, and then, you know, another big third down play at the end. You know, I mean,
from the MVP quarterback to the coach on the losing side, here's John Fox of the Carolina Panthers live on ESPN News.
You know, Vinatieri drilled it, and, you know, we lost.
Did you ever imagine 900 yards of offense in the game, that kind of scoring?
Well, I think, you know, it was completely two different halves. You know, I thought it was more of a defensive struggle in the first half, and then, you know, things opened up pretty good in the second half and turned into an offensive battle. So, you know, I thought it was two good football teams that have a lot of heart, a lot of fight in them, and we just ended up on the short end.
Talk about your thanking for both of the two-point conversions.
Yeah, I mean, we went for...
You know, all quarterbacks good at it.
Adam, it must have felt like deja vu all over again from 2 years ago. Tell me about that 41-yarder to win it.
I tell you what, most people are never fortunate enough to even have the opportunity once. The fact that the guys played hard again today and had an opportunity to do it again, it's amazing. You know, it's hard to put into words how proud I am of the guys and how fortunate I am and how nice it was to look up and see that going down the middle.
After you missed the first one and the second one was blocked, what was going through your mind?
Well, you know, they get paid too. They did a nice job on the second one, got some good rush, and you know, you just got to block all that stuff out from behind you, and when you get the opportunity, just focus, concentrate, and make the best out of every opportunity you can.
Tell me, how sweet is number 2?
It's just as good as the first one, maybe even better. You know what? It's amazing. You know, I'm just so happy that we got all these new guys on our team, the Rodney Harrisons and all these other guys, the Ted Washingtons that didn't get to do it the first time, but they got a ring now too. It's awesome.
Thanks, Sam. Congratulations.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Back to you. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Woo, you think it would have been a defensive battle, but our offenses came out. Both offenses came out and played great. What can you say about Tom Brady and our offense? They just continue to make plays. Hey, man, this is sweet. 2 in 3 years. Woo!
What about when Adam lined up that 41-yarder at the end?
Well, I had absolutely no doubt that was going through.
Deion Branch, 10 catches, 143 yards as the Patriots win Super Bowl 38. Here's 83 live on ESPN News.
Well, you know, starting the game off, we was doing a couple of things, and their defense were showing up and making progression against some of the things that we did. Once we went in at halftime, we regrouped and coach put some stuff together and came back out the second half, and everything turned over for us. What was it? It was a lot of changes, just basically a lot of protection changes. You know, most of all, we pretty much was doing everything the way we wanted to do it, but the coaches did a great job of going in. We regrouped and got everything right and came back out the second half and developed.
We made some adjustments, and I think we made some good adjustments.
I mean, we've been in numerous tight games, and it was never a thing about that we're going to fold or anything. We never panic when this situation come upon. You know, we just have to go out and play our game. It was just a regular play call. We ran it early in the game and it worked, and coach wanted to come back to it, and Tom did a great job. The line did a great job of blocking for him, and he threw the ball, and I just made the catch.
I think he played outstanding.
Yeah, by far. Hopefully we go back and regroup during this offseason, come back and try to make another run at it. I mean, being on the offense, you always want to score points. And our things were, we just want to go out and match their intensity and their emotion and their physical play in the game, and we did a good job at it.
We were kind of looking to get down with the ball fairly quick, get a timeout, and we weren't expecting them to drive and peak.
Who, Tom? Nah, never. And he's one of the main reasons why everybody else stays calm in tight situations. Just like any other game that we've been down and had to. We're not saying down, that was any other tight game. Nothing changed.
Manages that for us.
Yeah.
A lot of it's relative to time.
We've been in some tight games. I ain't gonna say we've been behind. We've been in a lot of tight games. Exactly, and we're thankful. I'm glad we wasn't. So.
I think he's been outstanding all season. He's improved every game.
Who went now?
He's outstanding today.
Both of them. Both of them. They cash in when it's time, and when we need them to cash in. Adam do a great job. We were just saying if we can get the ball down 35, 40-yard range, he'll make it. So he did a great job of making the kick. Just game plan. Coaches calling the punt meeting, and I just cashed in. When my number was called.
But no way are we happy about.
Not really. Coaches do a great job of game planning for certain situations, and we just have to go out and play the game.
We're one of the 31 other losers in the NFL.
Okay.
These guys,
just trying to get a little bit closer to the shorten the field goal. The closer we get to the end zone, the better the kick and better everything for Adam.
Yes, because you play defense, you think 2 points is good enough to win.
I don't know who it was. I was just running my route.
Coach has just stepped up to meet the media. Here's Bill Belichick live on ESPN News.
Went right down, obviously, to the last play. And, I certainly congratulate Coach Fox and the Carolina Panthers for, what an outstanding season they had and a terrific game that we had with them. In the end, we just made enough plays, putting Adam out there in that situation. We have tremendous confidence in him. He came through again like he usually does. Defensively, we had our moments in the first half, but, couldn't stop them in the second half. And offensively, we just kept putting points on the board. A lot of guys made big plays in the running game, passing game. Offensive line did a great job. And, of course, you can't say enough about Brady and his management of the team and some of the big catches the receivers made. So, 15 games. I'm really proud of this team and the players. I think they met all comers and managed to come out on top every week. And it's my hat's off to them. I have a great appreciation for our owner, Mr. Kraft, for giving me the opportunity to be the coach at this team, and for our players for their outstanding work effort and their play all season long. Tom and Adam, it's been that way many times this year. They're both great players, and great players play well in big games under pressure, and they certainly stepped up and made some key plays today. Give me a few more minutes, Brian. I mean, the game's only been over for a couple minutes. It was an awesome year. I mean, you win 15 games in a row and culminated with a Super Bowl championship. I mean, I can't say enough about the players. They've been in so many tough situations, and they've always managed to come through and come out on top. And that's, you can just rattle off everybody's name on the roster and find somebody making it, and making a difference. So it's, we finished the game with 2 backup safeties. So that's the way it's been all year, and this has been an unbelievable team and been a real thrill for me to coach them. Yeah, I thought the offensive line did a great job today. We ran the ball pretty well, had some holes there, and in the second half we're better on third down. Pass protection was excellent. Tom had some time to throw, and he was able to pick out some guys and hit them. But those guys really stepped up. Losing Woody a couple of weeks ago, that definitely was a loss because Damien's such a good player for us. But Russ and and the rest of those guys, Copen, rookie center, Joe Andruzzi, Ashworth stepped in and had a great year for us at right tackle, and of course Matt Light. So you can't say enough about those guys. They did a great job.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, again, Adams has been making big kicks since his rookie year in '96. He's, he's a pressure kicker. He's really consistent. I mean, nobody makes all of them, but if you got to have one kick to, with everything on the line, he's a guy I want kicking it. Oh, I mean, it was a great kick. It was an awesome kick. We didn't do too well on the 2 earlier field goals that we missed, and there was a combination of things there, but. Again, that was the game, and that's what Adam's here for, and he came through for us big time. Oh, Tom's got a lot of great qualities, and that's why he's such an outstanding player. He's got a lot of poise. He's accurate. He reads defense as well. Makes good decisions with the ball. I mean, you can go on and on. He does a lot of things very well. Manages the game. He's tough in those 2-minute situations, or situations at the end of the game when. You want to play the game a certain way, and he's very good at that. I'm sorry? Oh, I don't know. It maybe helps some of the guys that were here. We had a lot of guys that weren't part of that team, so I think this team's been confident all year. We've been in close games all year, and it isn't anything that's really new. It's just the situation that you're in and how you have to make it work, in that particular game, and that's what's different every week. That was actually a play that we put in when we got down here this week. We had a couple other goal line passes, and that's one that's been good for us all year. We decided to go with the things that we felt like we did the best. I thought Charlie made a great call on the play. We ran the ball on first down, and then came back and I think had a little change up and threw it on second. And Tom and Vrabel's always begging for that play. I mean he's one of those guys. He's always open whenever he runs it, and he was that time. Tom made a good throw, but I think Mike made a better catch. Well, I mean, Tom's certainly moving himself up the ladder in terms of a productive quarterback in the National Football League. I mean, you're talking about some other guys that are pretty good too. So I don't know where those comparisons really fall, but Tom's going to be mentioned, with some of the better quarterbacks that are playing now and have played in the past. I mean, based on what he's done, you can't help but not do it. You can't deny his production. Oh, Tom's a winner. Now look, Tom's a winner. That's what a quarterback's job is to do what he needs to do to make the team win. And Tom, he does that as well as anybody. On the no, it was it wasn't the Miami play. I know it did sort of look like that, but no, it was a designed rollout play. We tried to Carolina was blitzing a lot. We tried to get outside the blitz and buy a little extra time, and Branch is hitting from the backside. It was a similar looking play. I know what you're saying, but it was actually a little bit of different protection. This never gets old. So everyone's really special. Field goal at the end of the game. I mean, obvious comparisons, but this game was just such a back and forth game. It was just a terrific football game to watch. It wasn't that terrific to coach. It was I was having a heart attack there, but it was I'm sure it was a great spectator game, and it did come down to the final kick like it did 2 years ago, but there's certainly a lot of different elements to it.
Bill Belichick, only the 4th coach in the Super Bowl era to reach the Super Bowl twice within his first 4 years coaching one team. The other, Don Shula, did it 3 times in his first 4 years with the Dolphins. He, of course, had been there with the Colts prior to that. Mike Shanahan did it twice with the Broncos, and Joe Gibbs twice with the Redskins. Tom Brady has now twice been a Super Bowl MVP. He was so clutch on that final drive. 4 of 5 for 47 yards, leading to the Adam Vinatieri field goal. After the game, he spoke with our Sal Palantonio.
You're only 26 years old, second MVP. Congratulations.
Thanks. I don't know what to say, Sal. I just, you know, you battle all the way through the game, and then old number 4 trots out there to win it with 9 seconds left, and he drills it. Just couldn't get any more exciting. What a game, and Carolina played their butts off. Just so proud of this team in a way we always seem to come back and fight through the tough stuff and get a tough spot victory.
When you were down 22-21, it was the first time you guys were down since like Thanksgiving. What was going on that sideline and in your mind?
Well, we've been down before. I mean, it's been a while, but you know, I think keeping our poise and understanding that how to go down and score. Because we knew Carolina, they've been you know, doing this all year. They've come back all year on teams, and we figured we'd get another shot at it, and we did. Game-winning field goal. I mean, how ironic.
What can you say about Jake Delhomme's performance?
What an unbelievable competitor. I mean, the way he fired that ball around, bringing his team back, and our defense is so tough to play against because they give you so many tough looks. And I mean, it only works out for one team, but he played his tail off, and you can't say enough about his competitiveness and his toughness.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thanks, Sal.
Back to you guys.
Well, Stephen Davis had a couple weeks to get ready. 13 carries, 49 yards, 32-29. Panthers come up short. Here's Davis live on ESPN News.
For the best reason, because we was moving the ball, throwing the ball. And we was moving the ball in the second half for us running, too. We gave a lot of people at home a good bargain for their money. And, you know, we feel good about that. But, like I say, we had 2 good teams out there playing, and, you know, it showed on the field. Always keep your head up no matter what, you know, including in life. Things are gonna get emotional, you're gonna have bumps in the road. Just always keep your head up and stay positive.
What's the feeling like for you now, man? You still kind of on a little bit of a buzz from being out there on that big stage? Are you emotionally drained, or how do you feel at this point?
Nah, I'm not emotionally drained. I'm just, you know, right now I'm feeling a little bad and sad and mad at it all at the same time. But like I say, no, nobody in our locker room can keep their head down and drop their head, because this was a year where all the guys on that field went out and proved something. And, you know, we just fell short today. And I still feel that this is a stepping stone for us as a team. Nah, we, like I said earlier, we wasn't playing together as a team early. In the second half, late in the first half and early in the second half, we started playing as a team. Guys started making plays. Jay started scrambling a little bit. So, you know, the thing was, we just got to learn how to play a full game on this type of stage.
How long did it take
We said it was a Super Bowl when the game started, but the thing is, like I said earlier, it's a normal game once you're inside the lines. The intensity goes up. Everybody is trying to play harder. You know, it's just, you know, you just got to go out there and execute the way you're capable of doing. We didn't do that earlier.
Teddy Bruschi, 2 weeks to get ready like Stephen Davis. He's happier than Davis. His team won. Here he is live on ESPN News.
Combine, you know, superior coaching, you know, veteran leadership with preparation, and then you put talent in there because we've got a bunch of good football players in our locker room. Then that equals, I mean, a team that can be dominant in the NFL.
Did it mean something to you that you had been in this game just 2 years ago?
No, you realize it's a totally different situation. I mean, you know, I categorize that as our coming out party, and now we're proving that, you know, we are one of the dominant teams around.
It came down to special teams in the end, didn't it?
Come on, I got it.
Here with Mike Vrabel, big game, 3 sacks and a touchdown. Seemed like you really had Jake Delhomme rattled early in the game.
You can walk, okay. You know what? That's just playing next to Richard Seymour. I mean, he allows me to do things that I wouldn't be able to do if I wasn't next to him. But, you know, our whole defensive game plan was that. I mean, just he's been playing great. And I give a lot of credit to Jake Delhomme and the Panthers. I mean, they played great.
You got to give him credit for coming back after going 1 for 8 early in the game and hitting the 3 big touchdowns to get him in it.
Well, I mean, all year we saw him underthrow guys. I don't know what the heck he did in the last 2 weeks, but he's going to his right or his left, our right, and throwing back across deep. Did a great job.
Explain your touchdown play. What was that? What were you looking for on that?
136 X cross Z flag. I'm the cross, and it it just came open, and Michigan guy got it to a Buckeye.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Mike Vrabel, back to you.
All right, here's Rodney Harrison, who was not on the field in the waning moments of the game after injuring his arm. The Patriots safety live on ESPN News.
Well, how many times have it happened before? Just once? I mean, just been a fairy tale season. I mean, I can't sit here and put into words really what I'm feeling. I mean, the fact that we won 15 in a row, I can just tell you, though, we never look ahead. We always look one game at a time, and this was a one-game season for us. We worked so hard. We've gone through so much adversity to get here, and we believed in one another, and man, we got the job done. Can you believe it?
Hey, Rodney.
Can you believe it?
How about you, a kid from Markham who no one believed in, now in the ring?
Well, my mom believed me, and I just, thank God for giving me the opportunity. But, last year no one believed in me. No one thought I could do it. And I just worked very hard, put a lot of hard work in, a lot of focus, and just came here and they gave me opportunity, man. And it's the ultimate definition of a team right here.
Do you think you and Ted can appreciate this maybe the most of anybody?
And also Larry Centers. Larry Centers, he was in tears when he looked at me because we worked so hard. And, you can have all the individual accolades, all pros, the Pro Bowls, but nothing counts like a Super Bowl because it takes everyone, from the trainers, from the weight room guys, just everyone. It takes everyone to win a world championship.
Ted says that was a war, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was a war. And you know what? Our goal was to leave everything on the line, leave everything out there on the field, no matter what body part hurt, no matter what happened. And look, it was well worth it.
Hey, Rod, can you talk about the change of emotions being cast aside by the Chargers 10 months ago, and here you are accepting the Lombardi Trophy?
It went from being enraged to anger to having bitter feelings to just being driven. I mean, I was just driven this offseason to just prove everyone wrong, and prove that I can still play this game, which I've been playing since I was 7 years old. And to be able to be a world champion is truly a blessing from God, and I definitely appreciate it.
Now, talk about Bill Belichick's role in all of this.
Well,
He doesn't say much, does he?
he's a leader. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious what he's accomplished. 2 Super Bowl championships in the last 3 years. It speaks for the type of players that he brings in, the type of coach that he is, and what he's accomplished with so-called no superstars. We have no superstars.
Adam Vinatieri from 41. Good! Patriots win 32-29.
In the last 3.5 minutes of
Well, the first one, I was probably a little excited and was a little bit too fast, and I pushed it right a little bit. The second one, obviously Carolina's, they're trying to win this game too. They did a nice job and got some pressure up the middle and ended up blocking that. But honestly, you almost have to just get those out of the back of your head and move forward. You can't think about that too terribly much, and just hope that you have an opportunity at the end of the game to make a difference. And fortunately for myself, the guys did a great job, Tom, and the fellas moved the ball down the field, and we had an opportunity to win it at the end.
4th and inches, it's a Patriots ball.
I can't say that I was overly excited. I was just a little fast with my time. My get-off time was a little quick, so I guess the only reason for that is just going quick into the ball, and sometimes that's just one of those things that you have to take your time. There's an exact science, pretty exact science as far as how much time you have to get the ball off before it gets blocked, or how fast you want to go so your holder can get the ball down. And unfortunately, I was maybe a little bit fast. Honestly, icing the kicker, I don't really think works too terribly much. I don't know statistically one way or another, but any of the kickers that I've talked to really don't seem to it doesn't make a whole lot of difference to them, and I don't think it makes too much of a difference to me either. Sometimes it can be to our advantage if the field's in tough shape or there's snow or something. Obviously, that's not the situation today, but you got an extra minute to relax and take a couple deep breaths and go out there and try to put it down the middle.
5 yards on 8 plays. Suddenly we got a ball game, 7-7.
Unfortunately for him and their team, I'm sure he didn't want to kick that ball out of bounds. I'm sure that wasn't their game plan, but John's an amazing kicker. He had an incredible field goal right before the half, and sometimes you never know if it's a kickoff, an extra point, or a game winner at the end. You never know when that kick's going to make a difference in the outcome of the game. And he had a nice game, he had a nice season, and unfortunately that ball just came off his foot wrong.
50-yard field goal.
Well, you know, we had 3 timeouts left in 50 seconds or whatever it was, so maybe a little deja vu of 2 years ago with Noah and Tom and the fellas are going to march down the field and get us an opportunity. Tom, amazing again. He did it again. His supporting cast, the receivers did a nice job, make some big catches, and gave us an opportunity. So you never know with us, and if you ever give us any time, look out.
Carolina came back and they got the running game going.
Yeah, I did actually. I changed my plant foot at the second half. It was, you know, they sprayed the field down, you know, obviously with the paint and painted the different areas. Some of that area was a little bit slick, so a lot of the guys on the field at halftime and even on the field decided to go with some longer spikes to get a little more traction.
Fourth quarter, the Patriots ball, a 10-play drive. Kevin Falk in the middle of it, taking it inside the 10, but the 10th play of the drive was Brady throwing to the end zone and getting picked by Reggie.
They never get old. They never, ever get old. I tell you, I don't know. You know, I still think the most difficult kick I've had was the game-tying field goal in the snow against Oakland. But with this type of venue and the pressure on, these are never easy. But honestly, you try to block all that out and think, hey, it's a 41-yarder. Doesn't matter if it's a Super Bowl or if it's in practice 3 months from now. So you just try to block all the external things out and kick it. But you know, this will definitely. I'll cherish this one for a long time.
Allow the big touchdown play for 2 again and missed it. It's 22-21. An 11-play drive engineered by Brady. David Gibbons, 18-yard drive.
You know, like I said before, honestly, most guys never have the opportunity to play in this game, let alone to an opportunity to, you know, to have 2 opportunities to have game winners at the end of the game. And you know, it's just amazing the team that we have and the guys that we have on this team. You know, just lucky, and I felt like they fought so hard for 59 and 51 seconds of the game. It was only fitting that I did my role to help them be able to hoist that trophy up. And honestly, you forget about the stuff beforehand and you just move to that one time, because honestly, that's the only thing that matters at that point. What happened before, what the score is, who's ahead, who whatever. When there's 9 seconds left, the only thing that matters is that kick right there. Hold on.
The ball on the 40-yard line.
No, most time, not too many people talk to the kicker before they have that opportunity. More times than not, they just leave you alone to do your thing and to get focused the way you need to, and then just expect you to go out there and do your job.
All right, Adam Vinatieri, not bad for a guy from South Dakota State. 2 game-winning field goals in the Super Bowl, and a lot of similarities between the Patriots' last Super Bowl win over the Rams and this one today against the Carolina Panthers. Vinatieri, well, he made 2 in the first one. He missed 2 in this one. You heard him say during halftime he changed the shoe on his plant foot because they put a new sod down in there, some new Bermuda at Reliance Stadium, a little slippery, so Vinatieri changed his shoe, and it worked for the game-winning kick. This one was 41. The previous one that beat the Rams was from 48, and of course there was time for one more play in the Super Bowl today. After Vinatieri's game-winning field goal, it was the kickoff. Panthers couldn't do anything with it, and the Patriots win their second Super Bowl in 3 years, 32-29. Ty Law has had a tremendous performance during this Patriots run. 3 interceptions in the AFC Championship game against the Colts. This may have been his last game as a New England Patriot. Law will count for $9.4 million against next year's salary cap, and if he doesn't redo his deal, he'll end up in the Lawyer Malloy situation, which could be cut just before the season opener. But he is enjoying this one. After the game, he spoke with our Ed Werder.
Ty Law and the Patriots have now won their second Super Bowl in 3 years. Ty, you guys gave up 29 points, but it seemed like you really had Jake Delhomme shaking early.
I mean, we had him shaking early, but, you know, that guy's a competitor, man, and he's the type of guy he's not going to give up, man. He's been doing it all year long. I mean, he fought hard, and he almost brought his team back, man. That just goes to show you what type of leader that he is.
What did Tom Brady show you, speaking of leaders?
Like I said all year, he's the best quarterback in the game. Like I said, statistically, he showed it today, but he just knows how to win, man, and I'll take him over any quarterback of this league any day of the week. I mean, the guy knows how to win, and it goes to show you because this is his second MVP.
With what you've done now, do you have to be considered a potential dynasty in New England?
We don't think about things like that. Dynasty, we just try to take one game at a time and win championship. I mean, we all start off in training camp with the hopes of playing in the Super Bowl, you know, and winning the championship, you know, all 30 teams, but dynasty, we don't get caught up into that, man. It's just about playing and playing well.
Ty, thanks very much.
Thank
Ty
you.
Law, back to you.
Well, Jake Delhomme played well. Came into this game with an NFL-leading 8 fourth-quarter comebacks during the regular season, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 211 of those yards in the fourth quarter on 9 of 14 passing. This tied the game with 29 with a minute left. He's with Sal afterwards.
Jake, it was a difficult loss. Obviously, you guys fought real hard. What goes through your mind after losing a game like this?
You know, just all the hard work you put in, and now it's over. You know, you feel you ran out of time, but we didn't get it done throughout earlier in the game. But give New England credit; they're a great football team. I think you certainly had the 2 best teams in football playing tonight. We put on a good show. I just kind of wish I was on the other side of the rope and not roped off.
You guys really opened up the offense a lot, especially in the second half. Was that the thinking going into the second half?
No, not really. You know, it was only 14-10, and we didn't play well at all in the first half. It's just we started getting the rhythm, but once we got down 21-10, down by 11, we needed to throw it a little bit, and started to get great protection. Receivers are making great plays for me, and that's all you could ask.
Thanks a lot, Jake.
ESPN News' post-game live coverage of Super Bowl 38 continues. The Patriots finished the season with 15 straight wins. Here's linebacker Ted Johnson live from Houston, Texas.
Their offense was, you know, they had a lot of success on us, and you know, there were some guys that were down. I mean, we were in a position we hadn't really been in a long time defensively, and so it looked pretty bleak there. But our offense, I mean, they wanted it tonight, and not that our defense didn't, because we certainly did. But they just came up time and time again and saved our asses again.
Final question from me. Talk about, for the second time in 3 years, watching Adam Vinatieri go out to launch a field goal under 10 seconds for Super Bowl.
That doesn't get old either. Is there going to be a statue of him in downtown Boston somewhere? There should be. You know, there should be. He's, I mean, you know, whatever's been written about him, you know, it'll be tenfold now, and he'll go down in history as one of the best.
Rick Nicole scored the touchdown as he did 2 years ago before the Vinatieri field goal. Did you flash back to 2 years ago?
A little bit. You know, it's you know, it certainly got hairy there, defensive speaking. You know, I mean, it was not looking good. You know, the looks on our guys' faces was, you know, had me a little worried. But you know, our offense, you know, saved us. I mean, not that we couldn't, you know, if we had to go out there in overtime and you know, will ourselves to stop them. Not that we couldn't have done it, because we possibly could have, but you know, I'm glad it didn't get to that point.
What changed the complexion of the game? It's just a defensive war for about 27 minutes, and all of a sudden, we can stop it.
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. You know, I think the defenses got worn down. They were, you know, emotionally just very high all day, and they were, you know, both defenses were dominating pretty much, and you know, and so I guess it was offense's turn to show what they could do. I mean, it's, you know, we got a great offense. I know not a lot of people talk about that sometimes, but we got a very, very good offense, especially in clutch time. It's pretty well documented what Tom can do. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're doing a voiceover right now. At least they should be. It's it'll become an instant classic. I mean, so I've been a part of 2 of them. Proud to say.
Talk about having to be in your hometown.
Yeah, this has been a great week for my dad. I mean, you know, it's full of New England fans out there every day. So to be back in Houston and this, what a great venue. I think they did a great job. Rolled out the red carpet for us, and pretty special for him. He just, you know, it's just so out of his realm of experience to see all this. He can't understand why anybody want to put a microphone in front of his, you know, son's mouth like this, but. I told him to, you know, it was going to be bad for him to get used to it and have fun with it, and he certainly has.
What do you guys feel about your legacy now? You got the second longest winning streak in NFL history, 2 Super Bowls out of 3, which nobody's won 2 straight.
Yeah. That was linebacker Ted Johnson, Super Bowl champion for the second time in his career. The Patriots did it with defense again. They allowed an NFL-leading 14.4 points per game this year. They are the 5th team since 1986 to lead the NFL in scoring defense and make the Super Bowl. The previous 4 all won the game. Make it 5 now with the Patriots 32-29 winners. They also won it by holding on to the football. Time of possession stats. Patriots 38 minutes and 58 seconds. Panthers 21:02. Tom Brady, Troy Brown, and that Pats offense had it working. After the game, Troy Brown spoke with our Andrea Kramer.
The pressure was on when it was 29-29 to get a second ring for the little man over here. He already got one, so you know, I mean, it shows what kind of character our team has again, and we just found a way to keep on winning these games, and they did too. They were the same type of team we were. They found a way to win those close games, but today we were the better team, and you know, I just want to send a message out to Warren Sapp, Steve Young, and all those guys who said our receivers were too little to get out the press. Those guys didn't lay hands on us all day. You know, they were scared to death of us, the little receivers. Excuse me. Sorry about that. They were scared to death of us, though. We came out, we shook them, we got open, we caught the ball, made plays, and that's what it was all about. So forget everybody who said we couldn't do it.
After 2 misses by Adam Vinatieri, what was going through your mind when it lines up?
No pressure at all, no pressure at all. You know, we believe in that completely. I mean, the second one was a block, so we still believe in it, man, and we here again next year in that same situation, put him back out there again.
How do you feel about Vrabel scoring that touchdown?
He got one more than I got in the Super Bowl, so but it put us ahead and gave us a chance to win the game. And you know, I don't care who scores a touchdown. I just want us to go out and play as a team every week, like we did again this week. And that's what it's all about, just playing team football.
What does it say about this team that has now won 15 straight games?
Well, I'll leave that to you guys to determine what history says about us. You know, and right now we were the best team in 2003, and we came out here and proved it today, and that's all we can talk about right now. But for all you historians out there, write something sweet.
All right, the Patriots have now won 15 straight games, already the second longest single-season streak in NFL history. Good news for Pats fans, the only team ever to win at least 13 straight games and not win the NFL title, 1934 Bears. Well, we know that they won the NFL title. They've won 15 straight, and they win 32-29. How about Ricky Prohl, 14-year pro, 5th different team, 2nd Super Bowl defeat by the Patriots. Was with the Rams, now with the Panthers. He's with our Susie Colbert.
Ricky Prohl, unbelievably hard-fought game. How do you put this in perspective?
You know, it's just this football team's got to be proud, though. I mean, they fought all season long, and tonight was no different. I think a lot of people, including the Patriots, thought they were going to come in here and walk all over us. And you know, it was a war all night. It was a physical game. It was a great game to be a part of, a great game to watch as a fan. And you know, it's unfortunate someone had to lose. You know, and I'm sick for these guys. We worked so hard to get to this, you know, to get this far, and to come up just short. It's just it's the worst feeling in the world. You know, someone's got to lose, and unfortunately, it was Carolina Panthers.
We always hear nothing phases Jake. He gets off to a slow start, but what's he like in the huddle?
He's calm. You know, you know, I think they did a great job early on, and you know, putting pressure on him, taking us out of what we wanted to do, but as the game went on, you know, he got comfortable. He got comfortable in the pocket, bought himself some time, and started getting the ball downfield, and we started making plays, and you know, it's a growing process for him, and I think he did a great job. He handled it awesome.
You made a third down play that seemed to infuse new life. What was the moment like?
Just a rush, you know, adrenaline rush. You know, sometimes it takes a play like that where you make a big catch, you get knocked, you know, pretty good, and it gets everybody fired up, it gets everybody on your ball club off the bench, and says, hey, you know, we're in the biggest game of the year. We got to start playing better than what we're doing right now, and you know, I think that's one of the reasons why they brought me here.
What was the sense of the attitude when you guys came back into the locker room?
We were confident, you know, we had the utmost respect for New England, but we were confident that you know, we could put some points on the board, and defensively we can hold them and you know, win this ball game. You know, we've believed in each other all year, and tonight was no different. And at halftime we made the adjustments we needed to make offensively, and you know, we started grinding and wearing them down, and then we made plays. We made huge plays.
What's this mean for the future of the franchise?
I think it's a stepping stone for this organization. It's one of the best owners that I've ever been around, and you know, I can't say enough about Coach Fox. He's a great leader, and he's given this football team direction, you know, where the last several years they've had none. You know, they don't know how to, they haven't known how to win, and now they do, and now they know what it takes to get here and how special it is, and you know, how hard you need to work to get here, and, you know, now you know the feeling of losing, and you don't want to experience that.
Thanks.
You got it.
From Musa Muhammad, we heard all week how physical this game was going to be. What was it like out there?
I mean, it wasn't as physical as I imagined, you know. But I thought they did a great job of coming out, giving us a different look and making us adjust. And I think it took us a little time. You know, it took us a little time to adjust. But, you know, once we did that, I thought we played well. Once you guys started to roll, what was that like? I mean, it was a great feeling. You know, I knew that it would happen. And, you know, I walked by faith, not by sight. So, you know, I kept my faith, and I knew that we would turn the thing around. What was the thought process? Now you guys are in the lead, but the Patriots are marching. Well, I mean, you know, I felt like they had a great team. You know, that game was never going to be over until the last second ticked off the clock. So, you know, I kept telling guys on the sideline, hey, you know, get ready because, you know, we might have to score again. How do you describe the feelings as you watch Adam Vinatieri kick that field goal? I would say helpless. You know, you're just sitting on the sideline, you're feeling helpless, and, you know, you're wishing that you can have an opportunity to win the game for the team, but, you know, once it's in the kicker's hands, it's out of mind. Thanks. All right.
Thank you very much, Tom Brady. Getting used to this, second time in 3 years. As you're standing there on the sidelines, Adam Vinatieri's already missed 2. What are you thinking as he goes in for what could be the game winner?
Well, I looked at Willie and I said, man, this is for the World Championship. And Adam's so clutch. I mean, I know he missed the one earlier, he had the one block, but I had a great feeling with him running out there with the game on the line. And in typical Adam Vinatieri fashion, just banged it right down the middle to give us a great win.
You guys have not trailed since November. How different was it for you to play in that situation?
Well, you know, I mean, I think that's one of those streaks that's meant to be broken, and I think you got to continue to persevere. And the one thing that this team's done all year is we fought through the tough situations, and we were up 11. They hit a big play to score. You know, then we go down, and then we're up 5. Then they hit another play to score, and I think we just find ways to kind of suck it up, keep going. And the way the offensive line played today, the way the receivers ran routes, I mean, it was just incredible against a great defense like that. It was just an unbelievable, fitting way to end the Super Bowl.
You told me that the first time around in the Super Bowl, you almost didn't know what was going on. What was it like for you going through this whole week and then culminating in this kind of victory?
Well, I think it's still like that. I mean, I'm 26 years old. I mean, it's just, you know, you just don't expect this. I mean, you don't. And you try hard, and you go at it and work every day just like every other quarterback in this league. And I think I'm fortunate to play on a great team and guys that are so selfless. Guys like Troy Brown and Willie McGinnis and Rodney Harrison and Ty Law. I mean, I'm on a great team, and I'm just fortunate to play quarterback. And they don't ask me to run, or they don't ask me to tackle or block. They just ask me to throw passes, and I try to do that the best I know how.
Now, I know you are very well coached not to talk about yourself, but what sense do you have of your place in history? 6-0 in the playoffs, youngest quarterback to ever win 2 Super Bowls.
Well, it's my 4th year in the league, and I think, you know, being on 26, hopefully there's continues to be better football. And, I mean, your place in history, I mean, it's so early, you know. I love playing this game, and the competitiveness and going at and fighting every day and working out in July when you don't feel like working out, and the 2-a-days and the camaraderie with your fellows and the bus rides and the plane trips and, you know, playing backgammon and dominoes, and just that's the stuff that I just love more than anything else.
Speaking of camaraderie, I saw you hugging Rodney Harrison. What did you say to him? Because you were so emotional.
Well, you know, Rodney broke his arm, and I think he's one of those guys that without him, you know, I don't think that, you know, this season happens the way it did. And he came in, and I think with such a tough situation early on, you know, trying to replace, you know, our leader for a bunch of years, in lawyer, and you know, he just kind of went about his business, and I think his role grew, and he's gained the respect of all the players and the coaches, and you know, he's a one of the best competitors I ever play with. I mean, he's just tough as nails, and just an awesome player.
What did you get out of that? Because you were so emotional. You had tears in your eyes after you were hugging him. Why?
Because I look up to him, you know? I look up to him because I think you look at a guy like that who's been in, you know, San Diego for so long, and then, you know, was a great player on a team that didn't win as much as he'd like, and then he comes here not knowing what to expect. You know, goes from San Diego to New England. I mean, that's pretty drastic. And then comes in and does everything he can to help the team win. And, you know, we've had some battles in practice. He's a feisty guy. And last Friday in practice, he and I almost were throwing punches, you know, 2 days ago. And
why was that?
I had some pent-up anger from a week ago when I threw him an interception that he was being kind of cocky on in practice. And he's trying to hold my receiver, and I didn't like it very much, and I kind of went after him. And it's just one of those things, you know. And I think it all comes together in the way it worked out, you know, and with him. You know, there's no one I'm more proud of.
Speaking of interceptions, after you threw your interception, how did you rebound from that, especially since they then went on to score?
Yeah, you know, you'd always like, you know, the interception to result in a punt or something, but those suckers went right down and score, and I'm kind of thinking, oh, you know, why'd I throw that? And I think you just got to try to rebound, try to go back at it and see what you got. And, you know, I think we lined it up, and we go back out there to try to go down and score. And Mike made a great, you know, Mike's been begging for that play for 4 weeks, you know, and finally got his touchdown and put us up. And they, of course, they went down and scored, and then we got a chance to win it there at the end.
The whole time, we all talked to you about 14-game winning streak, and you all said the same thing. It means nothing if we don't get 15.
0.
Now that you've gotten 15, what is your place in history, this team?
Well, you know, 15 games in a row is, you know, pretty awesome. I mean, 3 in a row is awesome in this league, but 15 in a row, it tells you that we're tough to beat. And we've been tough to beat this year, and teams have fought hard, and they've given us everything we could handle. And I'm glad the season's over because we're not much left in our tank. But, I mean, where it compares to some of these other teams, I don't know. I mean, it's a fun team to play on. It's an unbelievable team to play on. And to win this Super Bowl is just overcome everything we overcame. From that first week, getting beat 31-0, come a long way.